Cigar Company is your one-stop shop for all your cigar needs. Whether that's a brand new humidor, a box of those new cigars you've been waiting for, a top-of-the-line cutter or lighter, a place to enjoy the finest cigars and spirits with friends, or the only cigars grown right here in the Sunshine State, we've got you covered. Come visit one of our retail locations for the ultimate cigar experience. Visit us online at coronacigar.com.
How about that cigar?
Well, how about that cigar?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Corona Cigar Studios for episode 293 of How About That Cigar Live. Thanks so much for joining us live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and live on
Rumble!
And if you're listening after the fact on the audio podcast, thanks again for listening to How About That Cigar. When you drive down the road, when you work out, whatever it is you do, when you listen to your favorite audio podcasts, thanks for making us a part of it. And click on all the big, beautiful buttons.
Smash the heck out of them.
Absolutely. The like button, the follow button, the subscribe button, whatever makes it so you have an easier time following what we have going on. And how about that cigar so you don't miss it?
No.
I think it is definitely cooled off a little bit. And beside the fact that it's definitely cooled off a little bit, we need to bring on our incredible, illustrious, fantastic producer, Justy Smoke.
What's going down,
brother?
What's up, dude?
What's up?
Fortunately, the temperature's going down.
Yeah, it's
I said what I did.
77 right now.
Yeah,
it wasn't that bad.
It was beautiful today. It
wasn't that bad.
Terrible yesterday.
Oh no, you put on 70
94.
You put on 75 pounds of gear. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
No.
You know how we do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I had an easy time. I was in my AC all day yesterday. That's all I needed was to be inside the AC.
We had 2 small fires yesterday. I was happy I was outside.
yeah. You weren't
oh my,
you weren't running into
bad
the
guys.
just drive up and say, all right, you guys get after it.
Yeah. Well, if you're here, you guys need more pressure, let me know.
So we have 2 championships since we had our show last. Florida Panthers won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Again,
great. Florida doesn't deserve it, but hey.
And OKC wins the NBA championship.
And that actually, I thought they were going to win anyway, but your Pacers gave them a fight.
I was surprised that that it made it to 7 games. There's always these rumors floating around, conspiracy rumors like, oh, the league did that on purpose, to try to boost, revenue and shit like that. I just don't buy it. I just don't buy it.
What I don't like about basketball lately is, especially this championship series. Okay, you win, Matt. Then I'll win. Then you win. Then I'll win. By blowouts? Come on. What the fuck is that? Let's see some games.
That's what I liked about the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yes. Overtime.
Close games.
Close games. I don't want to see. It's like, yeah.
It was in the beginning, close games. And then toward the end, Edmonton just fell apart.
Well, they got tired. They got beat up.
Yeah, they really did. They really did. I think it was 5-1 and 5-2 in the last 2 games.
They were just
so
tired.
they got exhausted. Your Yankees
are still in first place.
Still in first by 2.5 games.
Yeah, barely holding on by the skin of their teeth.
Twins are on a losing streak. Actually, that continues right now. They're playing Seattle. I think they're playing
Little Sisters of Porta.
They're getting. Last I checked the score, I think it was 5-0 or 6-0.
It's Minnesota sports. You can look so good, and then look so shit.
Yeah, it's just been kind of ugly.
That's how it is.
But you know what's not ugly?
The Saints, St. Paul Saints.
St. Paul Saints are a blast.
We need to go.
It's a blast to go watch.
We need to go before
Cigars and Baseball.
Cigars and Baseball,
or after Cigars and Baseball.
Speaking of Cigars and Baseball.
Oh, hey,
too. That's why he's our
well played. That's why he's the producer. That's right. Cigars and Baseball coming up on September 18th of this year. That's a Thursday evening. And you can find out more by going to cigarsbaseball.com.
And we will be there again.
And we will be there again. Let me just double check that web address just to make sure.
We will be there again, and we're going to do the same way we did last year, right? We're going to sit down and have guests come to us.
Yeah,
right?
We're going to interview people just like we have.
Yeah.
And You'll learn about more about the event. And if you guys want more information about the event, I'm going to put it in the comments here so you guys can find out how to get yourself a ticket to Cigars and Baseball. And all of the proceeds go to support the Miracle League, which puts together baseball facilities for kids with disabilities.
Yes.
So a great cause, fantastic cigar party, great food, great drink, great people, live baseball on the field at CHS Field in St. Paul.
And they got one of the coolest logos. I love
that logo is awesome. So definitely check it out.
Yeah.
We'll be continuing to talk about that until the date arrives.
Yes.
And I think it is definitely time for me to find out what is in this lovely glass right here on this week's Spirit of Mystery, brought to us by Postania Cigars. Do you find yourself unsatisfied with the top 10 list from How About That Cigar? Are you wondering how cigars from Postania didn't make the HBTC list, but found their way onto other lists? Well, fortunately, you can be reminded every week with this Postania Cigars advertisement. Postania Cigars, the #1 unranked cigar in the industry. So
let me tell you some things about this whiskey right now.
Please do.
You heard I said whiskey.
Whiskey, yeah.
It's not a bourbon.
No, I know it right away when
It's
you
a whiskey this time.
It is a whiskey.
Okay.
when you poured it in the glass. And before we went on the air, I took a little sniff and I was like, "That's not bourbon."
No, I've spoiled you lately, so now you just get a whiskey.
It smells. It doesn't smell bad, but it doesn't smell good either.
Well, because you've been spoiled with good bourbons.
It smells.
lately.
I have been. It smells kind of like medicinal, like
rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, a little bit. Cough syrup, rubbing alcohol. All right, here goes. A little taste. Whew. Okay.
Wake up.
Oh, that's I don't like the evil laugh because you know what's in the glass and I don't. I don't like the evil because is this one of those things where you're going to make me look like a fool because this is something that I've proclaimed over the last few years that I like it?
No, it's
I'm not a fan.
No, I knew you wouldn't be.
Nope, I'm not a fan. But you know, as per the rules of the show, I am going to continue drinking this as the show progresses, and you know, just
you can always do this. Sip it a couple times, slam it, and grab some from back.
I could do that. I might do that. We'll see. We'll see how the show goes.
So
but,
we should probably get our guests in.
Absolutely.
He's actually drinking something.
He's drinking something good.
Yeah,
which he always does.
So you got the shit on the stick on this one. Huh?
Well, that's okay though. That's okay. You know, it's ebbs and flows.
It's usually up here. You just it's one of
it's a little dip.
Little dip.
I'll take it.
All right.
You know, it could be a lot worse.
See what he's doing.
I'll take it.
So when we had cards at my house, he was spoiled.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Good shit. Nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 pours, all top tier.
Yeah,
Definitely.
So
all right, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please put your hands together and welcome to episode 293.
Who's this brought to us by?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Thank you.
that's why
See,
he's
again,
our producer.
the fantastic producer. Our special guests are brought to us by Drew Estate. Proud to unveil Deadwood Dominicana. She represents a milestone for Drew Estate with the focus purely on Dominican tobaccos inside, enhanced by the Mexican San Andreas binder and Connecticut shade wrapper leaf with a premium sweet cap. Available in a 4x38, 5x50, 6x50, and 6x60. Dominicana made her grand debut at the 2025 PCA trade show in New Orleans with MSRPs of $6.50 through $13.50 per cigar. For more information, please visit drewestate.com. All right, now put your hands together and welcome to episode 293 from Black Star Line Cigars, Mr. Aric Bey. Welcome back to the show, brother.
Hello. Hey, what's happening? How are you?
Always great to talk to you, my friend. So glad to have you back for, I think, your 3rd appearance on How About That Cigar Live.
Is it? I don't remember. A lot of edibles ago.
I think it's lucky number
You say
3.
a lot of edibles.
That's what, I heard that.
That's what I heard.
I thought I heard that
Now
too.
I'm talking my language.
I was like, did we all hear the same thing?
Yeah, it was a lot of that. I don't remember. 2 or 3. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, before we get into what we're all smoking, let's just tell Matt what you're drinking and let the audience know what you're drinking.
I
And
am
smoking.
drinking
And
New Riff
next.
Balboa Rye. There we go. Bottle and Bond, 100 proof.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
this joke is good. Got some floral in there, fruit notes, and spice.
The spice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't, I've had some New Riff stuff before. Haven't had that particular bottle, but I guarantee it's better than what's in this glass right here.
Whoa. Easy, bro. Easy.
Now, what are y'all drinking?
I don't know.
Oh, like a blind
It's-
tasting?
He doesn't get to know.
I get to find out later in the show.
I'm drinking agua.
There you go.
Agua.
Yeah, that Hawaiian water, fancy motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah, paying for that fancy shit.
Gotta clean the system. I ain't
I
gonna
got my 1919
Always.
Always.
The
Now, what
old
is that? That's
reliable
beer or?
root beer.
Root beer.
Oh, it's root beer. Okay. never
Yeah,
heard of that.
I don't drink. I do the green though.
Gotcha. Okay.
So what do you got fired up, Aric? What are you smoking with us?
I am smoking El Milagro Corojo. It was one of my first blends that I did with El Tito de Bronze. Then I moved all production to Aganorsa, so that's where it's currently rolled at. So yeah, so El Milagro Corojo.
Nice. I am smoking, which I think, since the ass whooping we just put on Iran, is quite fitting.
War Witch?
The War Witch.
What about Justin? What are you smoking?
And I have the Rosewood.
Man.
Same here. Rosewood.
Mm-hmm.
I smoked a few of
Absolutely
those,
love
and I
this.
love that cigar. Yeah,
Love this blend.
totally agree with you. I love that blend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for our fantastic viewers out there, join us in the comments. Let us know what you're smoking. Let us know what you're drinking. And if you have any questions along the way, be sure to also pop those into the comments. Yeah, Jason, that is some bougie looking agua. Yeah.
Well, I'm on a fast. I got to put something good in my body.
There you go. Just,
So,
I'm
I didn't get all this gorgeusness for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
going to think
There you
about
go.
that one for a minute before I respond. So yeah, Aric, since we were not able to, be with everybody in New Orleans for the 2025 PCA trade show, talk us through how everything went for you at the show this year and kind of how, what you were featuring at the trade show, if there's anything, new and upcoming that you guys were talking about while you were there.
And your general over feel about being in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a huge fan of Vegas. I welcome that change from Vegas to New Orleans. So that was, a lot different for me. I thought it was cool. It seemed like the trade show floor was much, much bigger and much spread out. So you kind of had to walk a long ways to get from one end to the next if you were, doing that type of thing. It was our first year having a 10 by 20 booth. So, because we needed the room, man. Historically, we were getting 10 by 10s. And the whole booth will just be flooded with people because each year we get more popular and by more people get to know us and that type of thing. Then everybody knows that's where you come if you want some whiskey and sit and smoke in our Black Star Line lounge there. So we got a 10 by 20 this year. So it was more space, but it still seemed like it was a little too small for us though. So for this next year's PCA, we're getting a 20 by 20.
Got him, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to make sure everybody got room to come hang out with us. Now, I debuted samples for Meadowwood MOK. So that's a cigar that I did with Tabacalera La Isla in Santiago, Dominican Republic, with Ostos as the owner. So Meadowwood MOK is a Corojo 99, Dominican Corojo 99 wrapper, Dominican binder. Then it's got 5 different fillers in it. It's got Peruvian tobacco, it's got American tobacco, it's got Brazilian tobacco, it's got Nicaraguan tobacco, and Dominican tobacco in there. So I kind of went around the world in the filler there. It's a 5x50 Robusto. It was delayed getting into the States because the original bands that came, I didn't like them. So they had to redo them. The color of the band is supposed to be gold and black. And the bands that were sent to the factory were tan and black. So I was like, yeah, we can't do that. So they had to redo the bands and then get them. I had them made in China, so they had to be shipped from China to Dominican Republic. So they're at the factory now. So Ostos just has to finish them up and then ship the cigars into the States.
So when are we? Can we see them? What do you think? We'll see them at the stores, at the shops.
Mid July. Yeah,
Mid-July?
mid-July is when they're anticipated to be in the States, and then once they get to my warehouse, I'll be immediately shipping them out to everybody that has back orders for them. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I can't
But
wait.
the name,
to
the name of the cigar is what's really so significant outside of how good the blend is. So Metalwood MLK pays homage to Martin Luther King Jr. Before Martin Luther King went to Morehouse University for his undergrad, he worked at a tobacco farm in Simsbury, Connecticut. So at this tobacco farm, he helped to grow Connecticut broadleaf. You know what I'm saying? So it's also rumored that's where he got the idea to become a pastor, because he was doing mock sermons for the people that worked there. And he also talked about how he really appreciated being there because he noticed it was a big difference between the racism in the North as compared to the South, and how he felt a lot safer and treated like a human being. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's a very significant, unknown fact of Martin Luther King, that he actually has something to do with the tobacco industry. So
Nice.
it was so dope when I found the story. I was like, I gotta do a cigar for it. And
Oh, hell yeah.
the blend matches up to the power of the name and the power of the story.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
I can't wait to smoke it.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to smoke it.
Mm-hmm.
And the gold band is it gold like this or shinier? Black and gold, right?
Sort of like that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Like that one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like that classic gold look.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Martin Luther King was a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and their colors for that fraternity are gold and black. So that's why I did the color scheme like that.
Nice.
Nice.
So, you mentioned even a little bit ago about, changing production from one factory to another. And I'm always curious from anybody who goes through this with the cigar brand, because changes happen from time to time, whether it's a production change or a numbers change or whatever, more a design, packaging change, that kind of thing. How do you make those decisions? Like if you're going to move from one factory to another, if you're going to change it, if you're going to change the way a band looks, that kind of thing. How do you? What sort of elements go into making that decision?
Yeah. What's your thought process?
Well, with the band is better branding. Like say for instance, the original band for Warwick was that gold band. But it was a nice band, but it wasn't photographic, for like magazines and stuff like that, because you kind of had to rotate the band to kind of see the whole Warwick on there. Mm-hmm. And that's why I reached out to Cigar Dojo and asked them to rebrand that particular cigar for me, because now you could get a straight on shot of that cigar, and you get the whole band, and it has a WW on there, and people that are familiar with the blend, they know that WW stands for Warwick. So now when it's in the magazine, you can just take a straight on shot of it, and you get all the branding that's on that cigar. On the band. Yeah. The reason why I switched from El Titane Bronze to Aganorsa was it was a production issue, because at the time the whole factory had caught COVID, and El Titane Bronze is very small. So they were closed for like a month and a half or so. So when they opened up, they were all backed up, and I needed cigars, and they couldn't give me the quantity of cigars that I needed because we were growing like crazy. So I had to switch to a factory that could, get me those numbers, and that factory was Aganorsa. So I replicated those blends through Aganorsa. They damn near taste identical, and brought it back out.
Yeah, and kind of in line with that same. This same sort of topic, but sort of the other side of the coin is, you've talked about growth for your company, and you guys really have, since we first met you, you guys have gone gangbusters and built insanely great relationships in the cigar industry, and you're building an incredible, reputation for good blends, good cigars, good relationships, good work ethic, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. But when you get to a point where you're deciding, whether or not to take the next step, whether it's increasing production numbers, whether it's ready for that next blend to come out, whether it's like you mentioned already, going to a bigger booth at the trade show, whether it's, you know, participating in a big event that maybe you haven't participated in before because you weren't ready for it. When you get ready to take a leap like that and make that next step, is it all about the numbers, or is there also an element where it's about, you know, your gut and the feel and, you know, a little bit of faith too?
There's actually a little bit of all of it, man. You know,
Okay.
a lot of times we're taking a risk, you know, that whatever we're going to bring out is going to work. Because, you know, we're still a small company, so it's not like our money is like infinite, you know, so we have to be well calculated on what we're doing. Because it's still at this point, we've been in business 6 years, but we still can't afford to make mistakes and lose money, you know, because the money we lose, it's not like we have Oliva money or Rocky Patel money, like where if they lose money, yeah, you don't want to lose money, but it doesn't really hurt as bad as it would hurt me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, but with any business, you got to take some kind of risk, you know, because if you don't take the risk, there is no reward, you know. So we gotta take some risks sometimes to really, you know, step out on faith and be like, yo, I believe in what's going to happen and that it's going to pay off for the company. And thus far, yeah, every risk that we've taken has been a great reward for us, you know, whether it's exposure or it's just great product or both, you know. So even with like bigger events, like say like Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest, like we took a risk to go do it. We didn't make a ton of money there, but we did get some good exposure because there's just thousands of people there. So, you know, we got good exposure. So I look at it as we may not have made as much money, but the exposure is going to help us make that money back in the long run.
Yeah. Well, and exposure has been, you mentioned them a little bit ago too. Cigar Dojo, one of the best, you know, groups out there as far as, you know, cigar media and, you know, promoting the cigar business and just great. They're great ambassadors of the world of premium cigars. And they've also done, you know, over the years, a number of their own, you know, custom cigars. And one of them was yours. So remind our viewers and listeners about that first Black Star Line cigar that you did through Cigar Dojo, and maybe is there something coming in the future someday? Maybe.
So you're trying to make some folks mad.
I mean, I'm not. I'm just wondering. You don't have to say yes or no. You can.
No, I'm just saying people are asking me daily, like, dude, I know you got some Yasuke's around the house, man. Can I get one? And I don't have them. They're gone. They sold out in 6 hours. It's a phenomenal cigar. It was rolled by Aganorsa Leaf, blend done by me. You know, it's up to Dojo and what they want to do with the blend. I think they do want to bring another run of it out. I don't know if it'll be a different size, but me and Dojo, we got to sit down and talk about it and see what's the plans for it, because that cigar is a fan favorite. Like he caught everybody's attention. Everybody that had it, that were fortunate enough to get it. Yeah. And then the people that didn't get it, like I said, I had to kind of like fight these cats off. I'm like, bro, relax. I'm sorry. You know, they sold out. I'm sorry. I don't have them, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we will do something. I just don't know when and what size.
Okay.
So I was fortunate to have one. I was gifted one, and it was fabulous.
Thank you, brother.
So when you do put more out, make sure you double it up, triple it up. So we can get a 5-pack. I hate just smoking one cigar. I need at least a 5-pack.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
All right. And I don't mind spending my hard-earned money. Speaking about which, I wouldn't mind spending my hard-earned money on that shirt you got right there.
Oh, my man.
Is that on your site, or what? We got to be special on your crew?
Actually, the guy that does my shirts, when I place an order, he always like gives me like 4 or 5 shirts or hoodies that are just for me. You know, so some of the stuff that I wear, other people don't. Even on my team, they don't have it. Like, it's just me. I mean, I could put them in production, but I actually haven't bought any shirts lately, man. I've been buying tobacco. That's where my bread and butter is at. So I gotta, you know, keep the party going on what people really love.
Yeah,
me.
true.
Now, you know, if I was FUBU or something, man, I'd be selling more shirts.
So that actually brings up a good point. How do you balance getting merchandise and stuff out there with buying more tobacco and going that way and putting out new blends? Because we all know this is a merchandise business. I mean, people love, and it's free advertising, right? So how do you balance that out? How do you say, I'm gonna put some new shirts out, I'm gonna put some hats out, compared to?
So I'm working with four different factories all at the same time, man. So right now, shit, I haven't been thinking about shirts at all, really. I'm paying La Zona, I pay Tabacalera La Isla, I pay Aganorsa, and I pay Oveja Negra. You know, so that's right now 100% of my money goes to those four factories to get that product back in the States, so I can rock it out to the people.
Yeah.
But I will bring the shirts back though. People are asking, so eventually I'll bring them back.
So I had to grab something nice that he deserves now.
So one of my bottles behind us, I hadn't cracked it yet, and I even when he put this up here, I was like, I don't want to crack that. He was like, go ahead, you deserve it. I was like,
the Angel's Envy looks like from the bottle.
So private selection, Angel's Envy.
That's a pricey bottle, right?
This was Costco. This was it was less than 100.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking they have one at Benny's that's like
that
$130 or $140 or $140 or something. It's kind of pricey, you know.
Yeah, this is the single barrel private selection, 110 proof. Barrel number. I'm not going to read that whole long barrel number. Yeah. But
I've never had that one before.
It's going to taste better than whatever was in the glass just a minute ago.
Which we're dying to find out.
Yeah, now I can't wait to find out later in the show what the hell that was. But this will be better. So speaking of collaborations, working with different factories for different projects, and even working with putting out a special cigar with a group like Cigar Dojo. How do you decide from one blend to the next which factory is best for that blend? Is it their blending style? Is it the tobaccos they have available? Is it how much production they're able to make for you?
Or it's just you want to work with these guys to see how it's going to show up.
Right. Maybe it's somebody you've never worked with before.
I want to work with this factory. I've been itching to work with.
Well, the reason why I work with four different factories right now is because of the tobacco selection.
Okay.
So historically I'm Aganorsa, and the majority of my cigars and blends are rolled and produced at Aganorsa leaf. But Aganorsa has Aganorsa tobacco. The stuff that they grow and then they source in San Andreas, source in Ecuador and Connecticut. They may source in something else, but off the top of my head, I don't remember. But when I want to use something else, instead of sourcing it into Aganorsa, I just go to a factory that has it. Like I wanted to use Sumatra, so I went to Espinosa, and then I went to Tabacalera La Isla to use Sumatra wrappers and stuff. All four of the factories I work with, they can handle any production I give them. That's not an issue at all. Even with El Tiny Brown, it's not an issue. It's just I had to get in their production schedule, and then you got Partagas coming through there. You got Sean Williams doing his Cohiba stuff through there, so that makes it a little tougher because they don't have that many rollers there. But I mean, I could still produce stuff out of there. I just had to go talk to Sandy and get on her production schedule. That's easy. But Aganorsa and all the rest of them that I named, shit, they can make whatever quantity I'm looking for, they'll make it.
Yeah.
But that's the primary reason why, though, when I pick a factory that I'm working with, is that they have the tobaccos that I'm looking to use. Sometimes I'm looking for some different shit that I haven't used before. Like with Metalwood MLK, there's a Brazilian Matafina in the filler. I never used a Brazilian Matafina in any form, any part of the cigar before, so I got a chance to use it there.
Yeah.
And even the Peruvian tobacco that I use under, the other factories I work with, they didn't have it. Oveja Negra might be able to get it. And you know what? Hector's used that Peruvian tobacco at La Zona before too. So
yep.
Yeah. So it just depends on what tobacco I'm looking for, and that kind of dictates where I'm going to go with it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna kind of put you on the spot. I know you blend most of your stuff, but what blend do you just jive with the best? Do you just flow with the best?
That's a tough question. I always revert back to El Milagros because they were my first kids.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm smoking the El Milagro Corojo now, because it was one of the first blends that I did. So I always go back to that one. It's one of my, when people ask me, El Milagro Corojo is one of my personal favorites out of my line.
Yeah. Now, from the standpoint of blending cigars for lots of different palates, because that's something you've done a great job with, is your portfolio is broad. There's stuff there for everybody. And how do you when you approach it, because I know that just like you mentioned, you've got the cigars that you hold near and dear to your heart, but you also have a kind of a palate that can enjoy just about anything, as long as it's good quality tobacco. So that's why you've got the blends that you've got. But when you are approaching, let's say you're at an event at a store, and at one of your shops, you're at an event and you've got some customers there that are maybe new to the brand. How do you kind of approach those customers when it comes to finding out what is going to be the cigar in your line that's going to hit them best?
So anybody that's ever been to my events or talked to me when I'm at the table or talk to my team, the very first question we ask you is, how strong do you like to smoke? Okay. And then based on the strength level, then we kind of know which cigar to put you in. You know what I'm saying? So if I was working at a car dealership and you came in looking for a sedan, I'm not going to take you to a conversion van. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find out the type of sedan that you're looking for, that type of power you want in the engine, and I'll take you to that car. So that's the same thing. We kind of tailor the cigars to our customers, and so we find out exactly what strength that you're looking for, and then we go from there. If you're looking for full body, full string, full flavor, then that's Lalibela all day long. If you look at something that's kind of like milder, then I'll put you in the El Milagro Sun Grown. That's a straight medium that has some string to it, but it won't knock you out. And it's full flavor cigar. So that's how we approach to sell the cigars to people that we never interacted with before.
Yeah. And have you? Because I know it's kind of like when people make movies or music, there's a lot of stuff that ends up on the cutting room floor, scenes that don't end up in the movie or songs that don't end up on the album. So, have you experimented with any kind of, I don't know, I don't want to use the word unusual, but, kind of non-standard styles, whether it was a barber pole or whether it was, some tobacco that you tried this certain tobacco and you really, really liked it, but you just couldn't get it. It just wouldn't work in a blend for the production you were looking for.
Like a Candela.
Like Candela or barber pole. Yeah, something non-standard.
Yeah, there once upon a time there is a barber pole version of Warwick. It was a Connecticut. It was a mix between the current rappers, the Corojo 99 and the Connecticut Shade. I didn't really care for it. That's why y'all haven't seen it yet. Okay. There's a Warwick with a San Andreas binder, and because the original version of the Connecticut Warwick, the binder is a Criollo 98. So I didn't care for that one either. It was okay, but it wasn't nothing I was gonna put out.
Yeah.
And then if I remember right, there's a Connecticut version of Lalibela, and that one wasn't it either.
Okay.
So yeah, so we do play around. I play around with the blends. I play around with like the barber poles and stuff like that. But then I just go back to what I know, which is making the blend, making sure it's right, and when that one's right, I stick with it.
Yeah. And kind of similar to the question I was asking about the customers at events before, but more about the shops themselves. Okay. So if you're out on a road trip and you're making some calls and you get some time slots set up to go visit some shops that you're not in yet, or it could be somebody stopping by the booth at the PCA trade show. And the fit's got to be right. We've learned this from a lot of different people in the cigar business over the years, that the fit's got to be right on both ends. You know, the fit's got to be right for the shop and for the brand.
Indeed.
So how do you know, after either visiting a shop or talking to a shop owner at a trade show, that it's going to be a good fit for Black Star Line to be on their shelf, and for them, and a good fit for them as a business owner to have your stuff on their shelf? How do you guys kind of gauge that relationship?
It's easier for me to do it if I'm actually in the shop.
Okay.
Like if it's a shop that's like selling exclusively legacy brands, the brands that kind of like, because they have a historic name and people just look for that name, and they don't have anybody in the lounge that actually goes and talks to the people when they go in the humidor, because they know, oh, okay, they're gonna go in there, they'll see a Cohiba, they'll see Drew Estate, they'll see LFD. Those are brands that they know and they've been smoking for 5 to 10 years, and they just go in and they grab what they know. Whereas if my brand was in there, it'll probably be the smallest brand in there, and it'll be unknown, and you need somebody to talk to them about it, because they never heard of Black Star Line, but they might have heard of Aganor Salif or Oveja Negra or somebody, or Aric Espinosa. They might have heard of it, but they're not going to know that if nobody tells them. And then that's a recipe for the cigars to just sit there on the shelves. Mm-hmm. And then people will think, oh, well, those aren't good cigars because nobody's buying them. It's not that they're not good. It's just you don't know the name of the company, and you don't know the background behind where that tobacco's coming from.
Yeah.
At PCA, it's a little bit harder because you're just talking to a person and you're not seeing their customers, you're not seeing their humidor, you're not seeing any of that. So, we kind of just take a chance on it and see, if the relationship will work or not. And most of the time it does, Every once in a while, and it's not just us, it's any other company. You get an order and the cigars don't do well there. And then, then that relationship ends, But like I said, that's not just us. Shit, I know a lot of even like Perdomo. I've been in numerous lounges where they're dropping Perdomo, or I've seen some of Aric Espinosa stuff not do well in a certain lounge. But like I said, that's any brand. That's just natural.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So what steps do you take to try to help that shop out? So have them either educate them or maybe do an event so you can educate their customers.
Yeah, it's mostly events. We send out shelf talkers so our product will stand out. We talk to the staff. When we got picked up by Casa de Monte Cristo, we had a whole Zoom call with like all the stores that we were picked up by. We picked up by 6 of them so far. So we did a Zoom call with them. We talked to them about all the blends and stuff, so they'll kind of know exactly what they're selling, as well as we send samples to every one of the locations to make sure that they smoke them. So they, that not only did they personally smoke them, but then they talk to me. And then we went out and did events at each and every one of those Casa de Monte Cristos that we were carried at, so people could meet me and my national sales manager, and then Richard Bradden, he's in the comments. And we go out and we talk to people too, so they get to hear about the product directly from us, and then they get to know my personality too.
And so we've talked about this with a lot of people over the last 5 or 6 months, and we're curious about it because and we were talking about this before we went live, as far as like social media and people taking themselves seriously, and so sometimes we just need to laugh and we just need to lighten up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like have you seen circumstances over the 6 years that you guys have been in the business where the cigar business or the cigar industry takes itself too seriously?
Yeah. I would say no. I would say
okay.
No. I mean, even with my posts, like my business posts, they're my cigars, or somebody smoking the cigars, or it was an advertisement that was made to promote, or it's events that I'm promoting. I guess that would be, I guess it looks fun, but I'm still kind of serious there.
Sure.
It's when you go to my personal page, that's where all the fuck shit is. So, if you want to laugh, you go to my personal page, and then that's when you get my silliness, and I'm a huge troll. So that's where you get it at for me. To be honest with you, I don't look at a lot of. I do look at some people's pages, and sometimes I look just to laugh because some of the shit is just funny to me.
Yeah.
The branding and you could tell like I do a lot of interviews, so you could tell like I'm real comfortable doing this shit. But when I watch other people do interviews, you could kind of tell like they don't really do them a lot, and they just sound absurd to me. And
yeah.
I'm not gonna say the name of the brand, but it was
we've maybe had a couple of those guests on the show before.
It was one that I was watching the video, and the person was talking about a new cigar, the big guy, and they said, I forget the rapper. They said it's like, yeah, it's such and such rapper, and the filler is Ligero. I was like, oh, so your whole filler is Ligero, huh? That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, no Viso, no Seco, nothing else in there, just all Ligero.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's weird. So yeah, I got a good fucking chuckle out of that.
And Ligero from where? Like from that?
There might be a couple countries.
Yeah, there's. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know, but like I said, it's just weird. Sometimes I watch stuff like that. It's my personal comedy reel, you know. So, and then I might pass it on to like 10 other people so we could all laugh collectively. You know? But yeah, I don't see the industry as serious though. A lot of people are having fun, you know.
Yeah,
especially
I think.
Boofy. Like Boofy has a lot.
Oh,
of fun.
Boofy.
That dude's a character and a half.
You know?
Boofy is. I actually just talked to him on the phone a couple days ago, last week, and I mean, even though we were talking about something kind of like borderline important. I mean, it's in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't really important what we were talking about, but it was important to me, and he knew that it was important to me, so we kind of focused on it. And but he's just always got this. He's got this ability, like if you're in a serious situation, he's got this ability to like lighten the air in the room and just kind of make you smile and make you forget it. It's like just fuck it, man. Just let it go. Whatever it is, just fuck it.
Yeah, life is short, bro. Have fun.
Yeah. And I love that about him. And I agree, there are a lot of people in the business like that. Sometimes I think, and we all can fall victim to this, where sometimes we just get a little too kind of bound up and are like, oh, I got to get this to work. And then we get super business minded. We're like, I got to get this to work and this blah, 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 blah. And then it's good to have, you know, people like you and Boofy and Aric from Cigar Dojo and guys that are just like, hey, just breathe, man. It's okay. Just breathe.
Yeah,
it's all gonna be all right.
I always live life like this, man. Like, you know, the dildo of consequences ain't gonna never get me. So, you know, it's just not gonna happen. Yeah. So, you know, like
I want that. That needs to be. That needs to be your next fucking Black Starline T-shirt. That's got to be. Oh man, that's beautiful. I love that. What? And we know that you know, you enjoy distilled spirits like so many of us out there in the cigar community. But if you had to like pinpoint your number one favorite beverage to pair with a hand rolled premium cigar, what's your number one favorite beverage?
It's whiskey. It's definitely whiskey. I don't drink like vodka. And, the gin I drink is actually Boofy's gin because Boofy's gin pairs really well with my dark Warwick. So I like his gin. So when I can't get it here in Illinois, so when I need a fix, I hit Loverboy up, and then, you know, he'll ship me a bottle or two.
Yeah.
You know? So but yeah, it's primarily whiskey, bourbon, Scotch, American whiskey, Irish whiskey, you know, Japanese whiskey. Yeah, we got whiskey in it. I drink it.
You mess around with rum at all?
I had one recently that was somebody brought it by here that was good. I don't remember the name of it though. I typically don't drink it because it's a little. For one, the proof is too low. Like around 80 proof historically. I mean, you get some that are higher proof, but the ones typical are 80. then a lot of times it's too sweet for me. Like I don't like sweet drinks, even sweet whiskeys. I can't stand that shit.
Mm.
You know, so but yeah, I'm a huge peat guy though. So like Ardbeg, Lefroy, Kalila, Bowmore, yeah, like you know, if it's smoky, yeah, I like because if I can't smoke, at least it feels like I got a cigar in my drink.
Mm.
If
Yeah.
it's smoky like that, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, I've done pairings. What I have on my website, I have a list of for each one of my cigars. It has the pairing that we found, the suggested pairing for each one of the cigars. So, and then I always ask people like, hey, try that pairing. But if you have one that's better than the one I found, yeah, more DM me, shit, tag me in and something.
Yeah.
Man. Don't keep that shit to yourself because I want to try it too.
Well, I real quick, I
motherfuckers.
gotta agree with the commenter, Cigar Brat, 100 proof or better. If it's below 100 proof, I mean, I do love rum. Don't get me wrong, I love rum, but rum is a different vibe. It's a different, you know, rum is. I always go back to music, and rum is like New Edition, and
Okay.
and 118 proof, really high quality 118 proof bourbon is like, I don't know. I don't.
What, it makes your nipples hard or what happened?
It's like it's like Illmatic. It's like Nas. It just
okay.
it falls into just all the right spots. And
Touch
so
me, tease me.
Yeah. And I'm not a fan of low proof spirits.
Yeah. I mean, I could do a spirit in the 90s. You going below that, yeah. I mean, I think Lefroy is 80 proof, and I still like it though because of the flavor. Ardbeg might be 90, so I accept those because the flavor is phenomenal.
Well, and it's interesting because for me, when it comes to in the world of Scotch, I'm kind of the opposite of you, where I like more of the Highland style. I don't like the really grassy, peaty, you know. But I like more.
Yeah, I drink Highlands too. Oh yeah, I drink them bad boys too.
So I
make love to all of them, bro.
The Balvenie, you know, that's I love that stuff.
Yeah, Balvenie's cool.
Us getting back to spirits, is there anything in the future that you'd get you start your own whiskey, or you'd work with somebody to collaborate Black Star edition of any of?
Honestly, bro, it would be with Brook Lottie. Yeah, Brook Lottie is my favorite distillery ever. It doesn't matter who you talking about. Brook Lottie could do no wrong with me. All of it's 100 proof, and all of it's fire, bro. So yeah. If I did, it would be Brook Lottie. Yep.
You got connections? You know somebody?
I don't.
Okay, well, we got everybody out there in the world. Come on, Skip Martin's in the comments now. We got to get.
Skip wants to know, did we already talk about the Jehovah's Witness?
See, he come in the comments trolling.
He a big troll too.
Oh shit, I love
Y'all
it.
want to hear the Jehovah's Witness story?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
All right. So I was sitting in the front of the house, you know, so I could see the street. Sometimes I sit up there and just think. So I was watering the grass up front. So then it was like a caravan of cars pull up and just start parking. This is I was working from home. I wasn't at the warehouse, so I'm working from home. So I'm like, damn, where all these cars going? So they getting out in droves. They mob deep, right? So I was like, oh shit, those are the fucking Jehovah's Witnesses. So I was sitting there thinking, and I was like, It's like, all right, I'm gonna turn this water off and wait for them to come. And when they come, I'm cutting the water back on. So I turned it off. I had to make it look real safe, right? So I turned it off. And then they walk north and then they circle back. So I have a side door too. So and that's where I turn the water on at. So they came back. So as soon as they came back, I ran to the side. And when the doorbell rang, I cut it off. So it was almost like a doorbell activated water. And they scattered like roses.
That's fucked up, bro.
Please tell me you got you got a Ring doorbell footage of that shit.
I do.
Oh, I gotta see that.
If you look at the post where I was talking about it on Facebook, go through the comments. The video's in there.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I just saw the post. I didn't see the video in the comments. I got to go back and see that.
Yeah, they have been harassed. They've harassed me for at least 20 years, bro. So I'm like, yo, at least I got a chance to clap back this time. I was like, at least I got him once. You know, other people was like, I should have just came to the door naked. And I was like, they might have liked that.
You never know what they're going to be into. You don't want to start something.
Right. Yeah, they might have been like, oh, yeah, now we really want to come in. You know, so.
We've never gotten the Jehovah's. We gotten the Mormons
Really?
probably 5 or 6 times in different, because we've been in this house for 6 years, almost 6 years now, and we were in our previous house for like 9 years.
Okay.
And the house before that for I don't remember how many, but it was always Mormons for us that we would get at the door. Like honestly,
Okay,
2-3 times a year.
I've never met a Mormon before, so they go to door like Jehovah's Witnesses too.
Yeah, we got them at the door at least a couple times a year for a long time. We haven't. No, we got them once here at this house.
Okay.
So once in 6 years is not too bad. But Jehovah's Witnesses never, not even once.
Really? Yeah.
And there's a temple of Jehovah's Witnesses right, like within 2-3 miles of us here.
That's
So, but they never stop by the house.
Anthony wants to put out Jehovah's Witnesses ride bikes, though.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the difference.
yeah.
So
if there are any Mormons in Chicago, I've never met one.
Okay.
It's the Mormons that ride the bikes. Is it the Mormons?
the Mormons
The Mormons ride the bikes.
So, I'm Puerto Rican, right? So what do you think I have in my house? They don't come to the door. When they do, no. Pit bulls.
Oh,
3 pit bulls pop
go.
up on the window. They go.
Well, you got guns too, though.
Yeah, no, see that?
Allegedly.
Yeah, so it was some people were mad in the comments because I turned the water on. I was like, dude, it's a harmless prank. You act like I poured a fucking can of paint on them. I was like, dude, they're all right. Yeah. They'll be dry. But by the time they get done harassing people, they'll be dry, man. They're all right. Yeah. Where's my glass at? Oh,
people taking shit too serious.
Internet's always going to be mad about something.
Yeah, they're taking it too serious.
Yeah, well, they gotta clap back for that too. So when they commented and I clapped back and then they stopped responding, I was like, yeah, you might not want to play with me, especially if I got time. Oh yeah, I'm gonna clap back hard too. I'm gonna talk about your mama and everything. So why not? I tried to purposely get deleted, bro. Like, yo, delete me. If you don't like what I got to post or what I got to say, fucking delete me. How about that?
Well, you can. I don't know. I feel like it's our duty now to get Aric booted off of Facebook for not like permanently. I'm talking like 3-day suspension. Like we got to encourage Aric to just put the most fucked up shit out there on Facebook that he can.
So Aric V just what Aric just put up about the Mother Mary in my front yard.
Statue of Virgin Mary in the front. There you go.
Yeah.
Next time you put that comment out, make sure you capitalize those. All right. Virgin Mary is capital letters.
Put some
And Mary, there's only one R in Mary.
Yeah. Don't get me started, Mr. V.
Don't be talking shit about the Virgin Mary around a Puerto Rican. They'll get
should come up. That tattoo will come off and smack the shit out of you. That tattoo on my leg come off and smack the shit out of you.
Oh shit.
Put some respect on my name, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, this is why I love having Aric on the show. Shit gets fucking wild. I love it. So, do you think it's time? I'm so. This is my second whiskey now, so because the first whiskey was terrible. This
I feel
Angel's
like I'm
Envy.
sitting in the devil's living room right now
Oh,
watching
boy.
this shit, bro.
Ah,
I'm gonna pour another.
You should pour another because I don't think it's time yet.
Pour another
oh,
of
boy.
these.
We're not going to
You
get
don't-
through this show.
Ain't
You don't think it's
Not
time yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pour
Okay,
another
so,
Angel's Envy.
so Matt, how is that one? Tell me, is it good?
It's really good.
It smells delicious.
It's really good. Now these
Okay.
these guys don't drink. I'm the only one on the show who drinks, but oh shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really good. It's got great sweetness. I honestly, I wish it was. I'm gonna sound like a drunk now, but I wish it was a little higher proof. 110 is fine, but 115 would be better. But it's
Okay.
good. It's got great sweetness, little spice.
How's that riff treating you?
Oh, it's good, man. It didn't taste like it's 100 proof, so it's pouring real smooth. You know, it didn't have
Yeah.
any kind of bite to it or anything. It's good. It's a good. I'm glad I picked it up.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the thing
we
with
were-
this Angel's Envy. It doesn't taste like 110. It doesn't drink like 110. It drinks really smooth.
Yeah, we were at Cigar Vault in Pacific, Missouri, and they have a nice bar there. So me and Brad, that's in the comments, we were sitting in there at the bar drinking and smoking, and we had it was one called Ozark something, and it was 131 proof,
Oh,
and that Joker was good, bro. So I couldn't find that particular expression in the store. They had another version of it that was on like 120 proof, but I hadn't had that one, so I wasn't sure if I wanted. And it was a little pricey for a bourbon. It was like almost like $80, $85. You know, that's a little high for a bourbon. So I was a little leery to get it because I hadn't had it. If I could have found the bottle that we had, yeah, I'd have brought that bad boy back to Illinois.
Yeah.
But
So-
I'm just gonna reach out to some people that live down there and see if they can find that bottle for me and have them send it to me.
So if you think that's a little pricey for a bourbon, you need to come out to the house next time you come to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Yeah.
that's a bet, bro.
yeah. You
Ready
come up
with a good
visit,
time.
visit shops in Minnesota.
I'm talking about the house, the garage.
No, I know, but he's gonna visit the shops too, and then come over to your place. And yeah,
Mhm.
Raul's collection is
You'll be
he-
Ubering back to the hotel.
motherfucker doesn't
Ah,
even
nice.
drink, and he's got what 180, 200 bottles.
Oh shit! I
It's
thought
a
my
lot.
100 was solid. All right, I'm
It's fine.
gonna hit the shut the fuck up button.
Yeah, he puts us guys who actually drink bourbon. He puts our collections to shame.
I like hosting. I like having people over.
Yeah, and he's very generous with the pours. You know, you show up.
Oh,
we
my bad.
were just there. What last weekend?
2 weekends.
2 weekends ago playing cards, and he sets out what 6-8 bottles.
I think it was
Mhm.
like 10.
Just you guys pour whatever you want.
Make sure you got a designated driver.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And this dude.
And but yeah, there's something, and this kind of goes into the topic of the the cigar community. People who you get together for no other reason. There's no commercialism to it. Just friends getting together to sit around and enjoy cigars, have some good conversations, and enjoy some drinks, enjoy some cards, whatever it is. If you're playing whatever games you're playing, if you're sitting around a bonfire, whatever it might be. Something about the cigar community is, well, I'll just say it's better than it's better than other communities. And what is it about the cigar community that is so I don't know, that draws people into it?
It's cigars are the great equalizer. It doesn't matter if you're a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. It doesn't matter if you fucking sweep up at a peep show. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares. They just care about the lead.
Yep.
And I've talked about this on numerous interviews where I say if everybody smoked cigars and drank whiskey, all this racism and hatred and bullshit wouldn't be happy. Everybody be fucking smoking and drinking. That's why Meta with MLK is a significant name because Martin Luther King was all about unity amongst different people. So even with me, man, as long as you're not an asshole, I don't give a fuck if you Marvin the Martian, motherfucker, that smoke.
Yeah.
So.
Well, all right. So that kind of brings me to a question that just kind of popped into my head, and I'm curious about from the standpoint of and your perspective, on race issues in America today,
Mm-hmm.
and specifically as a owner of a cigar brand.
Mm-hmm.
And can you say that there
As a
are
black owner of a cigar, let's
yeah,
put it out there.
but
I'm
I'm
not black,
curious,
I'm Irish.
are there
Black Irish?
Yeah, I do have Irish blood.
Black Irish? See,
I can
Skip's
claim it.
going to get you for copyright infringement right now because you said Black Irish.
He had to
So-
get me for a cigar, not my skin, though.
There. So are there shops that you have accounts with where the people who own that shop, you're like, I never would have dreamed in a million years that this motherfucker would have my cigars on his shelf? Or
Are
even
you
if
talking
it's
about-
even if it's not like over the top, like this, I can't believe this guy's got my cigars on his shelf, but just places where you go to open an account or you go to discuss the possibility of opening an account, and you just get this vibe like this guy is not vibing with the color of my skin. Specifically, he doesn't give a shit about the cigars. He's just not vibing with the color of my skin.
No, I've never experienced that.
Okay.
All the lounges I've been in, from California all the way to New York, I've now maybe they said something when I was gone, but no, not to my face.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
Because I mean, you know, as y'all seen me in person, I'm not the smallest guy, and then I have very poetic hands. You know, I'm a historic martial artist, so you know, and I'm an equal opportunity offender. I don't give, like I said, I don't give a fuck if you Marvin and Martian. If you need to be knocked out, I will oblige you. So it doesn't fucking matter to me. So,
Yeah.
But no, I've never. Not that I can recollect. I haven't been treated bad in a cigar house. No.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, because and I've never, like, personally, I don't know about you.
I have.
Have you been to like cigar shops like in the deep South?
I've been to cigar shops in Minnesota.
Well, so there there was a shop who shall remain nameless,
motherfuckers,
where most of the staff ended up getting fired in a short period of time for just spouting the most ridiculous, stupid bullshit out of their mouths during the workday while there's customers in the shop.
That's not good.
Mean, and they were fired like within.
They happened to say something to a rep that happened to be married to an African American woman.
Yeah.
I'm pulling my shit off right now unless you fire these motherfuckers.
Yep. And that's all it took.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. You know, that's
yeah.
fair. You know, we need to push any assholes that are involved in this industry. Yeah, we need to push them out.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and they need that dildo consequences. So and it never comes lubed. So.
Hot too.
Oh man.
Oh shit! I gotta stop drinking.
No, keep on.
No. See,
I like shit that pops in your head. I love
the more I drink, the more he tries to just get me to keep drinking.
I can't drink because I'm an asshole when I drink, but I love watching people enjoy.
But you you know that when I drink, especially when I drink to excess, I just get funny. I start laughing my ass off. I'm grateful that, because I've seen angry drunks in my lifetime. I've seen people who just get angry and want to punch shit when they're drunk.
That's me. That's
and I'm grateful that I'm not that way. When I get really drunk, I get funny. I laugh at everything. Everything's fucking hilarious to me when I get really, really drunk. So I'm grateful that I'm not an angry drunk.
I'm grateful you're not really
because you've seen me. I got video. Speaking of doorbell cams, I got video.
Oh boy.
Was this a couple years ago? We were at that
when I brought you home.
Yeah, you brought me. We were playing cards at the gun club or wherever it was, and because he knew he's driving and I didn't have to bother driving, so he's just like feeding me pours of bourbon, and there's bourbons all over the place, and he's just feeding me pours, and I got absolutely fucking lit, and he drives me home, and I'm just laughing the whole way home, and
Amy wasn't impressed with either one of us.
And my wife sees us on the camera, and she comes out, and I'm stumbling out of his truck to walk into my house on the camera, and I'm like falling over, and I'm laughing my ass off.
You were a zombie, Kelly said.
I was a zombie. Yeah, Kelly.
Man walking.
I was dead man walking, and I was just laughing my ass off, and I'm glad that. Because it could be the other way around. It could be where I have just that one sip too many of whiskey, and I just want to fucking start fighting. And I'm glad I'm not that way, because I would not.
Well, that's why I don't drink Hennessy. That's why I don't drink cognac. But because as a young man drinking cognac, Hennessy, and Remy, and it makes me angry.
Oh,
so I realized that shit, and I stopped. I was like, no, can't do that. I don't want to end up in jail.
It's funny because for me that's tequila. So I don't fuck with tequila, because although I really do like tequila and mezcal, but when I fuck with it too hard, then that's when the devil comes out.
The rattle starts coming up.
Yeah.
Rattlesnake.
That's why they call it spirits, because each one of them is a different spirit. Some of them make you angry, some make you happy, some make you cry. This depends on what spirit and what you're drinking. So you got to realize what spirit works with you and what don't.
Cigar Brad says, what is one sip too many? It depends on the day, brother. It depends on the. I don't know. It really depends on what I've had to eat, how many cigars I've had, what kind of mood I'm in,
who's feeding you,
who's feeding me. Yeah, I don't know. It just depends.
Okay.
Yeah, Kelly says that's me on clear liquors. I've never, Kelly, I gotta be honest, I've never met somebody who turns into an angry drunk on clear liquors. That you're a first. That's like, I don't know if I've ever, although technically I guess tequila is a clear liquor.
And not if you're drinking shit stuff.
No, but I'm drinking the good añejo.
Yeah, that's not clear.
Tequila. That's not clear. But
what about the Russian mafia on vodka?
Oh, well, yeah.
We ain't gonna talk about the
mafia. We don't talk about them.
Yeah. They leave body parts in neighborhoods.
I mean, there's gonna be people showing up on my house. Gonna have the Jehovah's Witnesses showing up in my front lawn. I'll just turn on the fucking sprinklers. I don't care.
I like it.
All right, now do you think it's time?
Yeah.
Do you think it's time?
I'm having a good time.
I'm having a good time too, but it's 9:41.
Yeah, I ain't gotta work tomorrow.
I do.
It's time.
All right, guys. It is now time for this week's.
Like, pour up another one.
It is now time for this week's Numero de los Muertos. All right, so the number, and Aric, you've been through this before. You know what Numero de los Muertos is. It's weird.
Yeah.
The number this week is 11.
Lucky 11.
11 people died from this. So, as always, viewers, play 20 questions along with Raul, Justy, and Aric. Try to find out what caused these 11 people to die.
11 people. It definitely ain't gunshots.
No.
Nope.
No, that's been in that's been since the show started here in Minneapolis.
Kelly Conway says land or sea?
Sea.
Ooh, in the water. This is on a boat.
One drink too many. No. Hopefully not tonight.
You got me on that one, bro. I'm not sure.
So are we on a watercraft or
a dumbass trying to get eaten by a shark
on the sea?
On the sea.
On the water.
Falling off a cruise.
Not falling off a cruise.
But you said it happened in Minnesota, though, right?
No, not in Minnesota.
No, he said that 11 people died in Minnesota.
So
the show started.
Drowned?
Is it a type of drowning?
The causes of death for these 11 people were varied, but it was all the same event.
Dehydration.
It was not dehydration. It was not motion sickness. Not Jefferson.
Was it
Fucking
Fucking around with big mermaids. I mean,
Was it-
that's way more than 11.
was it people slipping off
It
Diddy's
was
boat?
no, Skip. It was not ice fishing.
Is this on a ocean or a lake?
Ocean.
I just gave a perfect answer. No one listened. No one heard that
Oh, I'm
one.
sorry, I didn't hear you, brother.
People slipping off Diddy's last boat party.
Oh,
Damn.
Ooh. Was there
Baby
11?
oil.
that was one drop of baby oil too much.
Is that 11 a year or total? There's one incident, right?
It was
One incident.
one incident, one event,
flooding,
not flooding,
jellyfish sting.
not jellyfish.
Was it the Vikings boat party a few years ago?
Oh, that was that was like 20 years ago, bro.
Was it that long
Oh,
ago?
It was like 20 years ago.
Ate bad fish.
Not eating bad fish.
Yeah, you got me, bro. I'm not sure.
Is this a boat that went down or something?
It was a
Or-
watercraft. It was
yacht?
it was a watercraft. I don't want to give it away.
Cruise ship.
No,
No.
it had to be.
Nope.
It had to be some kind of a yacht, or
Not choking.
was it a military?
Not military.
The last time Clinton was in office and somebody said the wrong thing.
Kool-Aid.
It was not drinking the Kool-Aid.
Not dehydrated.
Not dehydration. This was a single event that happened on
Shrimping
the
boat?
sea.
On a shrimping boat?
Not
They
a
drink
shrimp.
Malort.
fishing boat?
Say that again, Eric.
So they drink Malort.
One sip of Malort would probably kill me.
Jet ski?
Oh,
Not
the sub
jet
that
ski.
blew up.
Sub that went under?
Not the sub that went under. 11 cigars and 11 Monaco whiskeys.
Some nasty shit.
No, it's not a submarine.
No?
It was on the ocean, but it was not a submarine.
Searching for the Titanic?
Was it fishermen? Like
Not fishermen.
okay.
It was a commercial endeavor.
So were they crabbing?
Nope.
They weren't crabbing or tuna fish.
Nope.
Tuna fishing.
Bubblegum shrimp.
Not fishing. Not. They were not trying to harvest any kind of
Sea animals.
sea animals.
I haven't seen you fill that up yet, but I know you keep tipping back. So are you filling that up off screen? You pretty good with that.
I got a magic cup, bro. two of my
like
guys
Thor.
in here, so they just keep pouring for me.
Who else is there with you? Tell them to get on camera. Say hi.
Is no, that's the wrong way. Shit.
Tell
Is that
them
the way? Yeah, there we go. There's Paco.
Hey!
Sean's sitting all the way. Let's see if I can turn it all the way around. There we go. There's Sean there.
There we go.
Yeah. So they sitting here, with me. Listen to me talk
All right.
crazy in
The
person.
Titan.
Let's go back up a little ways in the
Titan.
comments.
We're going the Titan.
Not the Titan.
Oil tanker.
We're on the right track.
Domestic violence in a bottle.
Not domestic violence.
What's up, y'all?
We're on the
Was
right.
it- was
We're
it
on the right track with
Paco?
oil tanker. We're not.
Was it the XL Valdez?
We're not correct, but
It
we're
was-
on the right track.
It wasn't the XL Valdez.
It was not the Exxon Valdez.
Yeah, I don't know. You got me.
We ready to give in?
Ready to give in?
Justin, you ready to give up?
I have no idea. I mean, it's an oil tanker, obviously, but
Not an oil
No.
tanker.
no. Oil tugboat.
Oil was involved.
Oil
Was it a platform
oil
that
fire?
blew up?
oil
Oil fire platform?
Oil was involved.
Oil
So,
explosion.
was it Diddy? Fuck, you keep saying
Not
oil,
baby
it's got-
oil.
Oil.
Not
they-
baby oil.
were they
Crude oil.
Were they cleaning up crude oil?
That was no. That was.
Was it on?
It was on a rig.
It was on a rig. Okay.
Horizon?
Cigar Brat's on the right track.
the
It
Horizon.
was. Yes, Raleigh's got it. Deepwater Horizon.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Deepwater Horizon, when that oil rig exploded in the Gulf of Mexico, 11 people were killed, ranging from ages The oldest person killed was 56 years old, and this is really sad. The youngest person killed on that rig was 22. 22 years old. And yeah, so and I put that in this week because that disaster happened a long time ago, and they even made a big movie about it.
Yeah,
I had never seen that movie, but I just watched it within the last week. So I finally watched. I was curious, so I watched that movie, and I mean, you never know with movies like that how historically accurate they are.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's just really sad because it just seemed like it was like cutting corners, driven by oil company greed and shit like that, and seemed like a lot of people, 11 people died for nothing. If they just would have been a little safer and done their safety measures and all that stuff. But I don't know. It was an interesting movie. And then when I watch movies that are based on true events, I start going down rabbit holes. I don't know about y'all, but I start going down rabbit holes and like Googling and Wikipedia and looking for like the real story behind the movie and shit like that. And from what I could tell, the movie was pretty accurate.
You have to watch more movies.
Exactly.
So, there you go.
Exactly.
Hey, Aric V, if you're out there, bro, I didn't mean anything by my Virgin Mary jumping off my leg and slapping you. I hope I didn't offend you, bro. He hasn't commented since. We lost one.
See?
I'm burning
scaring him off.
bridges. I'm burning bridges.
You're burning bridges.
My
That's
bad.
not what we do here.
Good to see you too, Skip.
All right. It is time for the reveal of this week's Spirit of Mystery, brought to us by Postania Cigars. Now, as you know, I finished the Spirit of Mystery a long time ago because it was really bad. I've since been drinking this very, very nice Angels Envy private selection, 110 proof.
So what was this other bottle you speak of?
I'm not looking. Is the label on there?
Yeah. Clear as day.
It's okay. So I'm not looking still, but it's a single pour.
Yeah. But it comes in a big bottle too.
Comes in a big bottle.
This is something newer in the last
few years. And it happens to be linked to one of our sponsors.
Yeah.
Is that blackened? Yeah. I'm not surprised. Yeah, sorry. Sorry to our sponsors, but yeah, and I've actually said that before that I'm not a fan. Now, I will say this, their rye is much better than their bourbon. Or their what they call it, I think they call it American whiskey. The rye is much better than the bourbon. But yeah, it's not for me. That's okay.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
fair.
they're not
fair.
winners.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Can't please everybody.
All right, let's jump into the lightning round. Brought to us by J.C. Newman Cigar Company, America's oldest family-owned premium cigar maker. Creators of the I've been drinking too much. Creators of the popular Brick House, Perla Del Mar, Diamond Crown, and The American. J.C. Newman Cigar Company operates out of their 114-year-old El Reloj cigar factory in historic Cigar City, Tampa, Florida. For more information on their cigars or visitor experience, please visit jcnewman.com.
So you've been on our show a few times, so you know most of the questions, so we got to go off script.
We got to go off script.
And I'm going to start with a volley to you.
Okay.
Which is the coolest profession? Is it police?
Oh, don't.
Medics?
No.
Or fire?
Fire. Yeah, it's fire.
Yeah.
100%.
That's a softball, bro. You can't.
I just told him I was going to give him a nice little volley.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fire, bro.
Pretty good there.
Yeah, that was easy.
That's a softball. You can't do that. That's.
He knew my question.
No,
already.
I know. I'm looking for, because.
All right, I got one for you. I'll read it off the board right here. What technical intervention made the most impact in your life?
Let me repeat it again.
Oh yeah,
Read that.
I
one.
forgot. What technology innovation made the most impact in your life?
Streaming porn.
Free porn. That would be free porn. Yeah.
Oh,
You don't got to buy
Hey,
no
man,
discs anymore.
I
You got to buy
like
no
what I
tapes.
like.
You got to buy no magazines.
remember
You-
the old Penthouse magazine? You had to read the stories and
Gotta-
that shit. Yeah, it got
Yeah.
Gotta go into
Sticking.
the truck stop and pull the hoodie over your face so people don't see you buying the magazine.
Pages were sticking.
Oh,
Cigar Brat put a good one up.
that's great. What's better, being a cigar maker, a fireman, or a troll?
I'm gonna have to go with troll. I just reel people in when I'm trolling people, and then they realize like, wait a minute, he's fucking with me, and I was like, yeah, dude, you done had a 20-minute conversation when I was just fucking with you the whole time. So yeah, it'll be troll.
You get a question yet?
No, I had my list on my phone, but I lost it.
Oh no.
I know.
Just read off the board.
I suppose there's some on there. There's got to be some on there.
I like the second to
All right.
last one too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's say you're at a cigar shop one night, and this cigar shop has karaoke. You are forced to stand up and sing a song. What's the number one song you're gonna pick?
Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen.
What? What?
Yeah, I'm a big Queen fan, bro. Yeah, Freddie Mercury, that motherfucker could sing, bro.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go party with him though, because he might try to grab my ass.
No.
Yeah, but yeah, he's very talented, motherfucker. So the whole band talented.
He was, yeah.
So, yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody.
There's got to be one more.
He's all right though.
I know he's had yours. You got none that come to mind? Make some shit up. No.
Okay, this is one I don't think you've had before. So, one of the big TV networks gives you your own late night talk show. Who do you want to be your very first guest?
Dead or alive?
Both. Either.
No, I'll say alive.
See, he says alive all the time. I say both.
I say we'll say alive first, and then we'll do dead.
All right, that's a fair compromise.
Okay, alive. Because of the questions I would ask him, Puffy.
The ultimate, yeah. You just put that crow helmet on. Oh boy,
I would have a field day with him. Yeah, Puffy. Now dead, probably Tupac.
We were talking about that before you even got on the studio. We were talking about
Puffy might have killed Tupac.
Yeah.
Did he?
Either him or Suge.
Didn't kill Tupac.
You fuck, he didn't. Ask him in that.
You think
Him or
Diddy
Suge.
killed Tupac?
Yep.
All right, I'm switching the bottles, so I'm going to Waterford now.
There you go.
Ooh.
Irish whiskey. This
There you
joke
go.
is good. If you see any version of Waterford, they all look like it's ocean blue. Phenomenal. Yeah, phenomenal Irish whiskey. It's good.
So yeah, all right. Since you're here, who was better, Biggie or Tupac?
Pac. Easy. He got a bigger. He got a longer catalog.
Yep.
Isn't that what I said?
I mean, it's not Biggie's fault because he died early.
Yeah.
You know, but I guess they both died around the same time within a year or so. But Pac's work ethic was so phenomenal that he was going in recording 5 to 10 songs every time he went in the booth. So he left a lot of material for us even when he was gone. So even his posthumous stuff, depending on what the production was for it, was dope. And then Biggie was he was definitely a lyricist, but a lot of stuff he talked about was one dimensional to me. Whereas Pac would rap about partying, he would rap about life, he would rap about politics, he would rap about anything. He was very passionate, almost like shit. Every time he wrote, his heart was going into them lyrics. So I love Biggie, but I'll go with Pac.
And Pac was a great. I was saying this before we went on the air. Pac was a great showman too. You know, Biggie was a great writer. You know, he he was a great writer, but he didn't have a long enough track record. You know, sadly because he died too young. But you know, Pac had the track record. He had a lot of releases, and he was a great writer. He was great with delivery, and he was a great showman.
Oh yeah.
And when he got up on stage, I mean, the crowds went batshit crazy.
Oh yeah.
And
Indeed.
he knew how to work a crowd.
Indeed.
So.
So notable smokable.
I think
or do we ask a couple more hip hop questions? Because I was like, you know.
All right, favorite. All right, favorite. Favorite
hip hop artist.
Favorite R&B song from the 90s, or let's say 80s or 90s R&B song, non-rap R&B hip hop song.
Non-rap.
Well, you said R&B and hip
R&B.
R&B or okay, R&B.
Like R&B. Yeah.
Off the top of my head, if it is in love by New Edition.
Yep.
Oh. I love that song.
That's a dope song.
Yeah.
My favorite is another New Edition song, Can You Stand the Rain?
Yeah, that was dope too.
I fucking love that song. Yeah. One of the best songs ever written. Terry Lewis and Jimmy Jam produced that. Absolute lights out song.
Yeah, that was a great song.
I think it was Keith Sweat just got paid.
Oh, Keith Sweat. Oh.
I love getting paid. Justin?
I don't know off the top of my head. I wasn't even thinking about that. Sorry.
He's working. He's busy doing production stuff. He's doing producer shit. He's like, I'm not thinking about songs right now.
Yep.
All right, favorite. Okay, so Aric, if you delve outside of the world of hip hop, R&B, a song that you love, that if somebody were to meet you for the first time, they're like, there's no way this guy likes this song. You already said you love Queen.
So yeah, that's a surprise.
So I'll go with a newer guy, Teddy Swims.
Oh, I love Teddy Swims.
But he's kind of R&B-ish. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. He's got a great voice. I think that the one I really like was with Lose Control or something like that. Yeah, that's a great record.
He did a great cover of that Mario song. If You Love Me, I think it's called.
Yeah.
He did a great cover of that tune. Great cover.
I have to check that one out.
All right. I know you love this genre, and I want to see how you feel about it. Who's your favorite jazz artist?
Ooh.
I'm kind of limited on jazz, man. I mean, I listen to it, but I don't know it that well. So, I mean, I would go with, like, you know, the historic ones like Miles Davis or John Coltrane. Yeah.
By the way, there's a shop in Kansas City, Kansas, that you need to check out next time you're there. It's called The Shop. The owner's ex-law enforcement, cool as the other side of the pillow.
Like
you
Simmons.
need to check him out. You check him out.
Yeah, it's such a cool name. It's called
The Shop.
It's Mike Simmons.
The lounge is fucking phenomenal.
And they do live jazz every Friday and Saturday?
Saturdays, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dope.
Yeah,
yeah,
really,
I have to check it out.
Yeah,
I mean,
can't
I
wait to get down
jazz.
there.
I'm not well versed in it. That's all.
Yeah. All right, notable smokables.
Notable smokables.
All right, so you remember notable smokables. Each week we name a cigar that we smoked recently that stood out to us. This could be a cigar that's been on the market for decades, or a cigar that's brand new to the market that we smoked for the first time ever. So, Aric, obviously you're smoking mostly your own stuff, but if you get a chance to jump outside your own portfolio, what is something you smoked recently that really stood out to you?
Well, first thing, I don't only smoke my cigar. I smoke everybody's shit. If of course, my cigars are my favorite. But if you smoke your favorite, it's like eating your favorite meal every day is not your favorite meal. what stuck out to me lately? That's a tough question, man, because I smoke a lot of cigars, and then like say I smoke 4 cigars in a day. By the time I got to the 4th one, a lot of times I don't remember what the first one was.
Yeah, I know.
So,
That's called getting old. That's just called getting old.
Yeah, and it's the edibles too.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it'll be easier for me with brands. Tatawahe. You know what? Okay, the pork tenderloin. I smoked that one recently.
The new
that
one?
was good. Yeah, that the recent one that came out. That one was good. I enjoyed that one. That was a blend that I never had the prior version of the pork tenderloin, and I had the 2025 version of it, and that one did stick out to me. That one was good. You know, I got an HBTC in my box that I'm gonna smoke.
Have you had that yet?
At some point?
No.
Hold on, I'll show you which one it is. I haven't had this one yet. Actually,
I might have a box.
Brad gave it to me. I'm not familiar with this one. Let me take it out there. But it's this one here. HBC.
Oh,
So
HBC, yeah.
So I'm a fan of HBC too. So
Definitely.
So I'm curious on how this blend is gonna go because I've never had it before. So, but yeah, dude, I smoke everybody's stuff from whether when we got on before we got on, I was smoking Rocky Patel.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't really hit my palate, you know, but you know, I smoked it because it's just an exercise for my palate. And it lets me know what I want to do with my cigars and what not, you know. So that's what I'm using. I use everybody else's tobacco to help make mine. You know, I use their blends to help make mine better. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I'm looking for and what I'm not looking for. You know.
Justy, what's your notable this week?
Go with the Room 101 15th anniversary.
Room 101 15th anniversary. Yeah, another Boofy classic. Absolutely. Yeah, that was a nice cigar. Raleigh?
Mine was Broadway, the new Crown Heads.
Crown Heads. Yeah.
Never had that one.
Just hit our local shop. So
mine was when we were at your place for cards and bonfire. I had that another one of the apostate cigars, the Sword of Laban.
Yeah, Apostate's a good brand.
Yeah, I like him. He's
making good stuff. Making good
move
stuff.
when they started getting distributed by Oveja Negra.
Oh yeah,
LJ Suka. You know?
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's talk about some coming attractions, stuff coming up on the next few weeks on How About That Cigar Live. Next week, on the 30th, we will not have a show. I'll be on vacation with my family. The following week, July 7th, we have Ashley from Big Ash's Cigar back for, I believe, her third appearance on How About That Cigar Live. July 14th, this is the big one. The 6th installment of the Cigar Industry Hive Mind with John McTavish from Developing Palates, Mike Shebekavich from Postania Cigars, and Will Cooper from Cigar Coop, and Rafael Nodal from Tabacalera USA. So that will be the Hive Mind for 2025, and much more very cool stuff coming up on the shows after that as well. Aric, if you would please give our viewers and listeners an idea, where is the best place for them to keep up with everything going on with Black Star Line Cigars?
Yeah, you can find us on Black Star Line Cigars on Instagram, Black Star Line Cigars on Facebook. There is a Twitter X account, but I don't post on there a whole lot, every once in a while. But those are the main places you can find us. And then you have our website is www.blackstarline.shop. So you can go on there, and we don't sell direct to consumer, but you can see the description of the cigars, and then any swag that's still available, it is on there for sale. So those are the 3 places you can catch us at.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, brother,
and if you like trolling, follow him.
His personal page.
His personal page.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Brother, it's been a pleasure talking to you again. I'll always love having you on the show and chatting with you and just and having a good time. So thank you for spending your money.
Anytime, man. I look forward to the next time.
Absolutely. All right, viewers and listeners, thank you guys so much for being the best part of How About That Cigar Live. Thanks so much for joining us live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and live on
Rumble.
And if you're listening after the fact on the audio podcast, thanks for making us a part of your regular audio podcast rotation. Be sure to click on all those big, beautiful buttons, the like button, the follow button, and the subscribe button so you don't miss anything that we have going on here at How About That Cigar. If you have questions for us, you can email us right on the website, howaboutthatcigar.com. Be sure to follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. You will find us at HBT Cigar. And of course, until we see you guys next time, burn cigars.
And not bridges.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Any comments, opinions, viewpoints, or statements presented or uttered by guests on the HBTC podcast, HBTC live video streams, and all other media from HBT Media LLC are solely those of the individual and do not necessarily represent the opinions or viewpoints of How About That Cigar or its parent company, HBT Media LLC, any of our advertising partners, or the premium cigar industry. The primary purpose of How About That Cigar is to entertain and to encourage activity and growth within the community of people who enjoy or want to learn about the enjoyment of premium cigars.